Welcome back to Florence, where the Renaissance spirit of beauty and pleasure is kept alive by the artisans of the city. I'm visiting a Michelin-starred restaurant on a hill above Florence to see another Florentine masterpiece, the art of gastronomy. La Legenda de Frati amidst the quiet grounds of Villa Bardini is a hidden gem in a city overrun by tourists. The private garden and terrace of the restaurant provides one of the best views of the Centro Storico of Florence. The acclaimed restaurant is helmed by Chef Filippo Saporito, a rising star of modern Tuscan gastronomy. The chic interiors, the elegant service, and the sophisticated menu may seem a bit out of character in a region known for its cucina povera, rustic country cooking, typified by plates of charcuterie and char-grilled meat, served family style, on checkered tablecloth usually, the type you find in trattorias all over Tuscany. But Legenda de Frati service isn't any less authentic. It can be traced to the dining habits of the Medici family, who popularized table napkins and tablecloth, fine glassware, the fork, and table manners as we know it.
I never thought I'd see the day I'd be eating pure pork lard.
But yes, it seems so much easier to enjoy when creme de lardo from Italy's lard capital, Colonnato, is as good and presented so appetizingly. The artistic presentation of food and the refined enjoyment of it were Florentine innovations Catherine de' Medici brought to France when she married King Henri II, and where it has flourished ever since. Though the French are known for producing some of the world's best wines, during the Renaissance, the aristocratic families of Tuscany were already famous for winemaking.
And I can't wait to see what they're gonna pair this with because they haven't told us yet what to expect. It's gotta be something that's really rich so that the acidity cuts a bit of that richness.
True enough, a hearty tortelloni with pecorino cheese from Tuscany and a rich carbonara-like cream. A fusion of Florentine, Roman, and Bolognese cuisine. And for the main course, grilled pork from a local breed, which when paired with Chianti Classico from Tuscany, helps you understand why Florentines hardly tire of their cuisine.
This is exciting. This is the creation of the pastry chef, Gabriele Venucci, who is the champion pastry chef in Tuscany in 2018.
Out on the terrace after lunch and with a view of the city before me, I feel the same heart-stopping delirium the writer Stendhal was afflicted with. He called it the Florence syndrome, from exposing oneself to too much beauty. Though in my case, it might just be a case of overeating. But I'm pretty sure the Medicis didn't care much for dieting because their fabulous frozen delight is absolutely fattening.
Anyone and everyone who's been to Florence will say they've tasted their best gelato in the city, which kind of makes sense because Florence is a birthplace of gelato. But here's the thing, some of the best gelaterias are actually far from the historic center of the city, places like Badiani.
I'm here to meet Paolo Pomposi, a second-generation gelato maker and the current owner of what many Florentines call the best gelateria in their city. Badiani was established in 1932 by Ildio Badiani and became famous in Florence for its prize-winning gelato, Il Buontalenti, in the 1960s. 5 decades later, the recipe Paolo's father inherited from the founder is still the gold standard of this unique Florentine specialty.
Paolo, this is fantastico. Fantastico.
It's like a drug.
It's like a drug. It's addictive. It's like you want more and more.
The simple but hard-to-perfect flavor of cream, milk, eggs, and sugar was named after the Renaissance Florentine architect Bernardo Buontalenti, hired by the Medicis to invent maraviglia, or marvels, to amuse the family. One exotic novelty he created for a Medici banquet was gelato.
So Paolo has no problem showing us his laboratory. Obviously, he has no secrets to hide. He has nothing to hide. You can look at all this, buy it yourself, and you won't make the same quality of gelato because you know what? It's not about equipment. It's all about this kind of generational knowledge that's passed on from father to son.
Unlike Paolo, Bernardo Buontalenti had no pasteurizers or freezers to work with, but much of everything else done here might be familiar to him. Paolo and his team make a fresh batch daily, using a traditional method that requires fresh ingredients and lots of patience. This is what's called gelato artigianale, unlike the commercial variety where milk or water is simply added to a pre-packaged mixture and sold as gelato to unsuspecting tourists the world over. Paolo Sun opened a Badiani in London recently, their first branch overseas, which really is just like Catherine de' Medici, who took the frozen Florentine specialty, an Italian style and fashion, to France, and from there to the rest of Europe eventually.
When it comes to luxury fashion for men, the Italians are known for making the best in the world, the best suits, the best shoes, the best accessories, all except one thing: fine watches. Well, on second thought, there's one Italian brand, Panerai.
The brand, best known for naval military watches, was established by Giovanni Panerai as a workshop and watchmaking school in Florence in 1860, and later moved to its current location across the Duomo at the start of the 21st century.
Yes, this is the original storefront of Panerai, and it does feel really special sitting here, maybe in the exact same spot where the founder Giovanni Panerai sat many, many years ago, thinking about the future of his Florentine company.
Patrizia Mazzoni, the boutique manager and a Florence native, remembers the shop when she was still a little girl. She's happy historic sections of the store were preserved and given a stylish renovation that reflects the marine heritage of Panerai and the spirit of Florentine craftsmanship. Of course, only the most dedicated fans of Panerai, the Paneristi, come to imbibe the brand's history. For everyone else, it's for their watches, especially boutique exclusives like the new collection of Panerai Radiomir 1940 blue dial timepieces.
So who knows our brand, who is in love with our watch because it was a military watch, because of the size of it, because of the type of dial, the simplicity of it, knows Florence, and the one at least wants to come to visit us. And
It's like getting closer to the brand that you love so much.
Exactly, exactly. We are a sort of, Mecca for them, or San Pietro Church,
I
for
was
the
saying it's like
Catholic.
the Paneristi would probably skip the Duomo and come straight to, this is his church, his cathedral.
Exactly.
And they're sitting where I'm sitting right now, and they're saying, is that the Duomo?
See, exactly. What is the
What is that
building
thing behind you?
Just exactly behind. Is this
That's
the Duomo?
But this is my Duomo. If I'm a watch lover, this is my Duomo.
Sì.
The piazza across holds some of Italy's most important treasures: the dome of Brunelleschi, Giotto's campanile, and the sculptures of the San Giovanni Baptistery. But you can also count Panerai's watches among Florence's best-loved masterpieces.
If you're a purist in a way, you really love the size. Right?
You love the size.
And you love the
no questions.
legibility and
Exactly.
the clarity.
How clear is the dial, the simplicity of it.
Although Panerai is now based in Switzerland, Florentine history and Italian design are still at the heart of it.
Because it looks different, right? I mean,
It looks different. I probably not only link it to the city, but of course link it to Italy. I think that the design of our watch, the shape of the cases and the type of really dial makes the difference compared to the other luxury watch brands. Really the roots of our country, of Italy.
there's one other Florentine specialty, jewelry. I'm here to meet a father and son who produce some really, really beautiful men's jewelry. Ciao, ciao, buonasera.
Ranfani is owned and operated by 3 generations of Ranfani jewelers from Florence. Following a long tradition of Florentine artisans from the Renaissance, their tiny shop in Oltrarno serves as both boutique and workshop. Father and son, Claudio and Mattia Ranfani, design, craft, and sell everything themselves, just the two of them, no one else. And make their jewelry in full view of customers, as dictated by a long-standing Florentine custom they still practice. While applying some unique Florentine techniques they've incorporated into their own.
Our personal style comes from different times in the history.
Of Florence? Or of Italy?
History of Italy,
Okay,
yeah.
Anche nel mondo.
And also of the world, yeah.
Alright.
Made with our personal classic style, our Florentine style. Our personal Florentine style is engraving.
When you say Ranfani, it's the engraving that you're famous for.
Sì, incisione e smalto anche.
And also enamel. This is our personal style. We use hot and cold enamel for our pieces, and we mix with different types of engraving.
Their hand-enameled and hand-engraved cufflinks are what they're most famous for, a wide variety that includes hand-painted dogs to simpler styles encased in gold or silver. Popular too are Ranfani's guilloche rings and handcrafted brooches which allow dandies to channel the Medici dukes.
My grandfather used to design this, and we also make these type of things which are very, very classic and which is a very Florentine style.
Sì.
This is something the Medici would wear.
Oh.
Sure. We hope so.
And if you want to be subtle, you can order a bespoke diamond-encrusted shoe buckle. Ready-made or made to order, the choice is yours, though you're still likely to own the only one of its kind in Florence. Florence was once an important center of goldsmithing and jewelry making during the Renaissance, just as it was for tailoring and shoemaking. In an age when outsourcing and mass production are the norm, the Florentine workshops of Ugolini, Liverano and Liverano, Padiani, and Ranfani remain faithful to the artistic spirit of the Renaissance that first flowered in their beautiful city.
And that's all for this episode of Executive Class. From Florence, I'm David Celdran. Thanks for watching.